Hey, Ghost Jazz Trio fans and friends, YouTube subscribers and followers. This is James Morgan of Ghost Jazz Trio. It's July 23rd, 2022, and I'm live from San Diego, California, where it's a comfortable 75 degrees. Busy weekend here in San Diego. We have what we call Comic-Con. We also have the horse races started this week, and then also we have the Pride Parade. So lots going on in San Diego. And tomorrow, for those who are watching locally, to get away from all the hustle and bustle of all those paid to enter events, you can come down and watch the Ghost Jazz Trio perform at the Smooth Concert by the Bay, presented by Mission Bay Beach Club. And that'll be Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on the outdoor stage, right at the water's edge of the beautiful Mission Bay. And there's plenty of tables and seating. It's a family and pet-friendly event. Should be a lot of fun. I'll be joined by Nathan Brown on bass, who has played with Bob James, Earl Klug, Coco Montoya, and many others, and Jack Nathan on drums, who's been on all three of my last three albums, Ghost Jazz Trio albums, Invisible Time, and also On the Level, and my new release, Dreams Above. And which brings me to, and also you can find all those on, if you want to stream them on Spotify, Pandora, and all your favorite streaming platforms. And you can go to the ghostjazztrioband.com if you want to purchase any of the albums and some other merchandise, and also see our touring schedule. So, which brings me to today. My last video of last week, I was announced that my new single is coming out off of the Dreams Above album. The single is called Lightness, so you're welcome to go online, listen to it. I hope you do. Where I combine strings, cello, violins with the smooth jazz format, create a nice song, symphonic feel, and this is kind of almost like a movie soundtrack vibe to this song. It's very good. In fact, I did get a message from somebody who may be considering it, putting on a new series out, television series. So they really like the song. So I'll let you know how that goes. So I'll bring you back down to the release of the single. Last week I said I was going to kind of let you know how that works, the process of releasing a single. My marketing partner is smoothjazz.com Global Radio. And what they did is they go ahead and they debuted the song last week. It's already playing on their station, which is great. And the first thing they do when they come out with my album is they put together a nice radio ad spot. In fact, I'll play a little of it so you can hear it, just to give you an idea of what they do. They're a great outfit. So let's see, where are we? So go ahead and have a listen to this.
Two-time San Diego Music Awards Best Jazz Album of the Year nominees, Ghost Jazz Trio, featuring guitarist, composer, and producer James Morgan, returns with their third album, recorded live in studio. Dreams Above continues the band's signature West Coast laid-back jazz vibe with saxophonist Andrew Nichols, piano prodigy Chase Pato, along with bassist Nathan Brown and drummer Jack Nathan. Dreams Above is available now on your favorite music platforms, including the smoothjazz.com listening loft and the ghostjazztrioband.com.
Okay, so there you go. That was the radio spot. Turn this down a bit. So that was the radio spot for the album. And the last part, the music you heard, the last part on there was actually the single "Lightness," which is out now. So it's a great way to introduce the music to the audience out there, the listeners that listen to the radio station. They have over 250 million listeners worldwide. So it's a great platform to be on. So I recommend finding whatever your genre of music is, find the platform that works for you, and find out how you can partner with them to help get your music out there. One of the things I like about smoothjazz.com is they actually give a great platform for bass players. And you don't see that in a lot of genres where they put out their own albums. And it's really great. So anyway, so what happens is they go ahead and they send out what they call a blast, an email blast. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of read you what they send. What I do is a follow-up. So they send it out and they send it with a copy of what you just heard, but it's in written form. And they have it all written here, so it comes to a green stream radio delivery. It has all the platforms that my music is on, picture of the album, and then they can scroll down here and it has all the links. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and SoundCloud and of course the website, and then how to contact the artist, which is me, and then they could click on the little speaker here and they can listen to the single, and there's also a video of the single right here. So if you go right here, let me go back over here. So if they go to there and they click on the video, it's probably going to be a commercial. Yeah. So they'll go ahead and let's see. So they'll hear this. And here's the new single out. All right, so then they listen to that. They decide from listening to it. They decide from listening to it if they want to play it or not. And what happens is if they do, every Monday the charts come out, but also I also get information what radio stations are spinning it, how many spins, if they've added or not, how many spins, and so on and so forth. So what I do is I'll go ahead and look at the number of radio stations. I have a place I can go, as you can see. And say, for instance, 96.9, the Oasis radio station in Palm Springs, they did one spin this week. Here's Jazz Club Radio, 8 spins. Jazz Moods out of New Jersey, 8 spins. So I get a detailed, tally. Smoothjazz.com, 16 spins. Radio 1, Guitar 1, 10 spins. And on and on and on. You have Poland, Madrid, Melbourne, Strasbourg, Vancouver, all over the world, Temecula, which is local. So I can see that. So then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and email them. And I'm going to email them and thank them for basically playing my single. So I'll say thanks, for the ad. Thanks for the spins. And of course, if you can increase the spins, that would be great, because the more spins you have, the higher you climb the charts, which is always nice. But the charts aren't the all to end all. It's just nice to have that as an accolade that you can use to market yourself as a brand. So when I'm sending out to, what I do is when they go for ads this Monday, they send an email blast again to all the radio programmers. I'm going to do a follow-up, and I'll read you what I send. It's a nice little format. Dear Radio Program Director, I am writing on behalf of my marketing partner, smoothjazz.com Global, to thank you for supporting my new single, Lightness, featuring guitarist James Morgan, by showing an ad and spins. And then it says they can download the 320K MP3 link that's been metadated. And metadata I went over in my last video of how you do that. So go ahead and watch that if you're not sure. And then they click on the a link, which will bring them to the this that I had shown you before. So then they read that, and it says, I appreciate your consideration for airplay, spins, and rotation on your playlist. I also appreciate any feedback on my single lightness. I'm always available for interviews, liners, and IDs upon request. Thank you for your support. And then I sign it with my number. So that's kind of what you want to do in that regard. Turn that down a little bit. I'm going to play a little Ghost Jazz Trio music in the background. So that's how that process works. And then every week I'll get every Monday charts come out. I'll see who's added and who's not added a song. And if a radio station, if you see that they've dropped, because it'll show the drops too, it's not because maybe they don't like the song. You have to realize that there are terrestrial radio stations. You have Watercolors on Sirius FM. You have smoothjazz.com Global Radio. They play 24 hours, so they can put a lot of spins on your, with your song. However, if they have maybe a Sunday smooth jazz 2 or 3 or 4 hour slot to play smooth jazz or whatever your genre is, they're not going to be able to play everybody's songs. And you have to keep in mind there's about 64,000 new songs out every month. It's a lot of competition. So even to be on the charts out of that's a milestone. So basically what happens is they may add you on one week, but drop you the next because they have to make room for other people in that short 2 to 4 hour span they have. There are YouTube smooth jazz channels that have a longer time. So if you can get on those are great too. So there's a lot of different formats. So you can't get discouraged if they dropped you, because again, as I just explained. So you just write them, you tell them thanks for the spins. I hope you re-add me next week, that kind of thing. So that I do that every week. That's it's a follow-up. And so what I recommend for you is whatever your genre is, get the email and contact either the contact person or just the program director for whatever radio stations that you feel your genre or music should play on, and contact them with an email with your song on there that's been metadated, and explaining maybe a little EPK bio about the band and some accolades, and that you're requesting that they add you to their playlist. And that's the way to do it. I personally chose to go with smoothjazz.com Global Radio because they've been established for 30 plus years. All the radio stations know who they are and value their leads on new music. So, and that's why I use them. And it's had great results. So again, that's how you release a single. My single just released. So on the next weekend, if it gets on the charts, of course, I'll let you know. That's how it's doing, the new single. And a couple other things I want to talk about too is, the internet. A lot of people don't realize, especially older people don't realize, older musicians, that the internet is the real world now. It's not a virtual world. It is the real world. It's how you get in contact with people. I can sit in my business studio here, and I can reach out to the world with my music, and it's had great results. So a couple of things I wrote down, just some notes that I don't forget to mention is, you want to promote your music on social media. It's super important, and there are a few major platforms that you need to work on. And there's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Spotify is also becoming a social kind of network now. So those are all the places you want to be on. what I would focus on first really is, again, before you get your music out there, you need to have a footprint online. I talked about this in my last video. Spend a couple years, a year or two, building up your followers on YouTube, subscribers, and your social media platforms, and getting your music videos out there and things like that. So when you do pitch your music to a radio station, if they go and search your name or your band's name, there's content. If there's no content, it's not really advantageous for them to add your music, because again, the internet is the real world right now. And if you have a large footprint, they know that they're going to get exposure too, because you're sharing your music in where it's being posted with your followers, just like I'm doing, mentioning smoothjazz.com global radio. Okay, so now people know about them. So YouTube to me is the key first platform you want to promote on, because that's where you're going to put your vlog, your well-produced content videos, and it lives on forever. So that's where you want to be. That way, when you put your videos on there, then you can add all your other links on the description below, along with your keywords. Again, you want to have about 7% of your description have the keywords that people are typing in on Google. Smooth jazz for me, that kind of thing. Those words have to be in the description, because those are the things they're typing. And when the algorithms are spidering the web for Google, you are more likely to pop up. So it's really important to have all your links that you can link on your website and your social media onto your YouTube. Not necessarily on Facebook. I'll get into that another time. But and you really need to put out on YouTube at least one video a week, because, and I know that's hard, but you can find things to do. A nice video, maybe one of your songs with some graphics. It's very important. It helps you with your subscribers to move up, where the subscribers see you more than they would other people they subscribe to, because you have more content coming up, more videos. So it's good to do at least once a week after YouTube. And then on YouTube, just so you know, when you have, I don't know if you can see this, but I have all my links here. I have the Ghost Jazz website, Spotify, SoundCloud. Join us on Instagram, join us on Facebook, join us on Twitter. So they can click on those and then they can follow. So you just market yourself to more spots. And then, and of course, when you have your YouTube channel, you want to have a nice banner. My banner is Ghost Jazz Trio Band, the Ghost Jazz Trio featuring James Morgan. Subscribe button. It has all the other links: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on and on. It's important for it to look good and feel good and professional. This is an official music band. You can tell with a little note here. So Ghost Jazz Trio Band. And then you have, when people tune in, when they go to the homepage, when they first come in, there'll be an intro video. You want to have an intro video. Right now it's showing that I'm streaming live. So that's basically it. So that's what you want to have. You want to have a lot of content. You want to have different playlists that they can go to, labeled. I have Ghost Jazz Trio Album Dreams Above, things like that, videos that I like. And so they're a little more engaging. But more important than that is you want to have Instagram would be your second platform. Instagram it's free. It's a free way to promote yourself. So if you're not using it, you're just being disingenuous to yourself. And with Instagram, it's not going to be, you have to look at it like a funnel, like a marketing funnel. At the top, you have YouTube. YouTube is the most important. It's there forever. You can put all your links on it. It's worldwide. And then you want to come maybe down to the funnel would be Instagram. Now, when you're doing YouTube, yeah, you're just really putting content out. You're not asking, you don't have a button that you're saying, a call to action, go to my video, my website, things like that. You have them in the description, but you're not asking them at that point. Then on Instagram, basically what you want to do, the quality doesn't have to be as good, but it shouldn't really be about just putting videos up of your music. It should really be a little more personal. You're doing a show tomorrow. You're letting people know you're playing. You're practicing. You're playing to a backtracking in your studio, and you're going to film a little clip of that, and with a nice caption. Practicing today for a show tomorrow. So people clip on that. Clip on. They can watch you practice a minute, or you tell a little story about, hey, I was just thinking about my old guitar teacher, Bill Connors. I just was listening to one of his, latest songs. Wonder what he's doing now, or whatever happened to Bill Connors. What could be my caption, and the people are going to clip on it and say, yeah, I used to take lessons from Bill Connors when I was in my late teens, early 20s, which I did. So then they get a little more information about you. So it's a little more personal. So you want that little more content, more personal about your concerts coming up, things like that. And then, so it's really YouTube, Instagram, and then you want to make videos that engage the fan, obviously. And then, maybe with Instagram and Twitter, you can say, hey, go to Spotify, listen to my song. It's a little more call to action too. You can do that too, to those people that maybe watched that video, because then maybe 50% of the people that follow you actually watched it. So then you can say to those people, hey, obviously they're interested. Go to my website and download my last 3 albums, and then they have it on their phone, or whatever they're listening to. So that's kind of what you want to do at that point. At this point, you want to, first of all, you want to create that footprint online for yourself with content, because again, the internet is the real world now. No one's going to know who you are if you're sitting in your bedroom or your studio playing every day, and you're just doing that, and then hoping, when you go do a live show, someone's going to see you. It's all about content. Get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get on Twitter, get on YouTube. Find a marketing partner, or start contacting radio stations just to let them know you're out there if you do have a footprint. And it's all about networking. It's if you see people following you that are in your genre, contact them. Say, share some of their stuff on your Twitter or your Instagram. So then they see that sharing, and maybe they'll share your stuff on there. They may have 140,000 followers. You only have 2,000 followers, but maybe, or subscribers even. So you may get some of that of theirs by just showing the content. And then one of the other things that we kind of want to talk about this week, and I don't want to belabor it, but a lot of people that live in towns or cities, like I live in San Diego, you're performing at restaurants or coffee shops or outdoor patio at a hotel, or whatever it is you're doing. You really need to consider 3 things when you're getting a gig. Does it pay well? Are you at least getting minimum wage? A lot of restaurant owners and venue owners look at hiring music as an expense when it's really you're adding value. And you have to let them know that you're adding value, because if there's good music playing, people are going to drink more, they're going to eat more, they're going to stay longer. So they're buying more liquor, they're buying more food, and you're generating money for that venue. So that's one of the things. The other thing is, are the people that are hiring you, are they good people? Do you like them? Because you don't want to go and work for a venue where there's any kind of tension or animosity. You want to make sure that you respect them, they respect you, and it's a good working relationship. And if you're a side musician, also consider, are the people you're going to go and play music with, are they good people? If they're not, it's really not worth the money if you're going to have to deal with any kind of ego stuff, or they don't know how to run their show. properly, cueing you to start at the right time, or, when to finish the song. So a lot of things to consider with that. And the third thing I would say is, if you're a side musician, that a bass player or drummer playing with other, or guitar player, piano playing with other musicians, how's the music? Is it good? I mean, you want to keep your integrity as a musician. You don't want to just go play music that you don't even respect it, or it's not even good quality, because basically that's going to also be out there. If they post you online when you played with them, you can't take that down. And so for me, never being really a side musician, always being a band leader. And the reason I've always been a band leader is because I have more control over everything. And I know if I do it, it's going to be done right. And because I know how to do it. I've been doing this for over 40 years. So again, those are things to consider when you're getting work. And, let the venues know that you're adding value. People let them know my music's very cool. It's relaxing. People want to sit, drink wine, and eat when they listen to my music. And then they're going to want to hire you because of that. You're not just there as they can put stream music on their speakers if they just want music in the background. You want someone there that's going to either keep people engaged in buying liquor and food, and and making them money. And also make sure you get paid a proper wage. If you have 4 or 5 people in a band and they're paying you, even $300 for 3 hours, and you have 4 people in a band, that's okay. So that's $100. That's what, $33 an hour. That's okay. I think you should be getting about $50 an hour. If you're not getting 50 an hour, I try to get the people that play with me at least 50 an hour locally. Otherwise, I'd rather not play. It's just not worth the gas, the time, the setup, and all that. So those are things to think about. Again, if you want to get your music out there, create the footprint and get as much content online, and you have to treat it like a business. And then also write some great music and get the music out there on videos. If you go through CD Baby or DistroKid, they'll go ahead and post your music on videos through their system they have, which is a good exposure. But again, you really want to get your music out there, create the footprint, do a lot of shows, as many as you can. Sure, if you're just starting, you may not get paid as much, or you may even pay for free just to get the exposure. But once you've created the brand, you want to really make sure that you're promoting it correctly, where it has value. Get on some websites like Gig Salad and Gig More, and local ones and national ones, where people who go and look to book for weddings and corporate and festivals and other things, that they go and look that you're there. Make sure you list your accolades, have some beautiful photographs if you're playing live, maybe some album covers, and a short blurb of yourself and or the band. So those are things that you need to do to get your music out there. Now, another thing to also consider is when you write music and you want your music on the radio, you have to remember they're not going to play an 8-minute song. They're not going to play a 5-minute song if you're not branded already. There is a sweet spot for radio, and it's between 3:30 and 4 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, 15 seconds. So when you record your song, you can edit it down to that, but you don't want to lose the quality of the song. But that's where you want, because you want them to be able to keep you in rotation. So if they have that sweet spot, they may spin you more too, because it's not 6-7 minutes. They're not going to do that. They may spin you once, but if you have a 3-minute 30-second song, they can spin you 3 times a day, 4 times a day. That's 4 times a day. That's only 15 minutes, basically. So that's what you want to do with that. You want to make sure that the songs are radio friendly. And there aren't labels anymore, so you have to realize that streaming, when you do write songs and people put on a song, you want to grab them in the first 5 seconds, because people they have a short attention span now with TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. Everything is quick, so you want to grab them right away, so they want to stay engaged. Even with just the thumbnail. Thumbnails is probably the most important thing on Instagram and Twitter and even YouTube, because that's the thing that is going to make them click on you. So if you don't have a good thumbnail is probably 80%. Then the first 5 seconds is the 30%, and then the rest is just gravy. If they stay engaged, you're lucky if they listen to you for maybe 20 seconds. I talk to a lot of musicians, just in conversation, and they'll say, yeah, I want to record this song, and they want to do that. I want to get my song out there, or whatever. And that's great. You want to get your music out there, but you have to realize to get your music out there, you have to use these platforms. And if you have to know how these platforms work, and you have to realize that it's created a short attention span for people, and people are lazy too. They don't want to read a long caption. They don't want to have to go through a long intro. They just want to get to the meat. So give them the meat at the beginning, and then you have them. And then you can, if they're engaged, you can talk about where they can go to listen to your music, because they've stayed long enough to hear about it, or it's in the caption below. The links are below. So having your links posted everywhere is super important. So if you can master those things, it'll help you. And it's free. I mean, you're talking about free promotion worldwide. Why would you not use Instagram and Twitter? And Facebook is a different story, because you have your personal one, you have your band one there. It's a little complicated how to work those. But if you have Instagram, which is free, if you're not using it, you're just being disingenuous to yourself. If you're wondering why you're not getting work, why your music isn't being noticed, it's because you're not putting in the effort to do it. So if you're happy with just playing music and recording an album and hoping someone listens to it someday, great. But if you really want to get your music out there and make money off royalties like I do, and I get checks, quarterly checks from my music being out there because it's streaming. And I get work because I promote the accolades on my websites. You have to parlay everything. You have to treat it like a business, and it's a full-time job. If you're a side musician, it's not as important. Now, say you're a bass player and you play with a lot of different acts, or you're a drummer and you play with a lot of different musicians, or a keyboardist, and you don't have your own music and you're just a side person, then when you're doing gigs, consider the 3 things. Is the pay good? Do you like the people you're going to be playing with? And is the music they have good? And keep in mind, if they recorded you on video and they put it out there, you're going to be out there with that music. So if you're a side musician, it's not as important, these things that I'm talking about. But then again, they are, in the sense that if you're a bass player or a drummer, and someone wants to hire you, say for instance, to sub for your primary bass player like I do, and I look for somebody and I go online and I YouTube their name, I don't see anything. Oh, there's something from 1994 they did 14 years ago maybe. Or they don't have a Facebook account, or they have 16 friends, or they haven't posted anything since 2020, or they don't have an Instagram or a Twitter. I'm going to have second thoughts about hiring them, because there's nothing to represent that they're a professional musician. Being able to play doesn't mean you're a professional. Getting paid to play doesn't even mean you're a professional. How you market yourself and how you view yourself and put yourself out there for hire is being a professional musician. For instance, a great example is Nathan Brown, who has a great single, Oxygen, on Spotify. You need to check it out. He plays with a lot of great people, Coca Montoya and others that I've mentioned, and he's created himself as a product. He is a product. So when people want someone, they go, hey, I'm going to call Nathan Brown, play bass, because not only is he a great bass player, but he's got content out there. He's on albums everywhere. He's done tours worldwide. So that's where that goes. Then I have a local drummer I use, which is Jack Nathan. He doesn't have all those accolades, but he is a band leader of his own band. He knows a lot of people, and he's played with a lot of people, and he's a good drummer. So he's someone I'll continue to use. Now he's gained much more exposure from playing with me, being on albums that are worldwide. So that gives him that he can use those accolades to get more work. So again, it's all how you view yourself. If you view yourself as a business or just a musician, and that's how that works. So next week I'm going to talk more about how to get work as a musician using different websites, and I'm going to have a list of websites you can go to and how to create your profile on there in the right way so that you come up first, and what people are searching for in Google, and how to create a Google business page for yourself, and that aspect of the business, because getting work is important. That's gives you exposure. So I hope you got to see how my single came out and what the process is for that. Next week I'll let you know how it's doing, and then I'll talk to you about getting work. You're welcome to leave comments if you think these videos are helpful at all. It's really just trying to give you some ideas about how to do your own thing, and you can apply them however you like. And that's how that works. I'm going to go ahead and play my single that just came out before I sign off. I'm going to play a little of it. This is called Lightness. It's on smoothjazz.com radio. Go ahead and check it out. And this is a cool tune. Okay, that's my single, Lightness, that's out now. And also, too, I may be posting some small short videos on Instagram and shorts on YouTube of me playing to some backtracks. I've had some people requesting they love the tone of my guitar and phrasing and so forth. Just want to hear me do some soloing. So I may post some videos on YouTube of just some nice backtracks um, and soloing over them. So just to give you a taste of my playing. So again, check out the single, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and go to the website if you want to download the music. Check out our touring schedule. We're playing tomorrow, 1 to 4 at the Mission Bay Beach Club in San Diego. And leave comments if you like, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you like. And hope everyone has a great weekend, and stay cool if you're in the hot part of the U.S. And thanks for your time.